Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Bloody Lane match on the 1776 limited time event for you. Before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like the support, go beneath the video, hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do with no ads. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. So, server comp right now, July 4th at about 10:06 p.m. Eastern Time. Is 310. Number was just at 400. It'll get back up there rounds and numbers drop, right? Makes sense. But imbalance right now, it's 6 towards the American side. No artillery. Officers for the CSA side, you have Sir Wolfric Hampshire. You have Lord Gunalat III. You have Riderton the Fourth and 6 million pies. Whereas on the American side, you have Jura, you have Skynet, you have Pax. And then last but not least, you have Pilotmen. So traditionally how this map goes is the attacking side will group up on this left side and just bonsai charge down here, try to take the corner, and then push towards the point, which is located right where that British company is located. You've seen this as of late as well, but the American side will also like to hit this right side and push and kind of flank around the side. As you will note, both sides, they go on the flanks. They don't charge straight down the middle unless it's desperate times. So we'll see how this goes. Now, normally the attacking American side has buckenball on this map, and so do the defenders. So, in the end, you know, this will play out kind of similarly, but it's going to be awesome to see the Americans charge through the open. It's going to be great. So, just a matter of time before the Americans charge. And normally a defender will spread out like this. Obviously, they want to defend the whole width of the map. The attackers, right, they can hit anywhere. And as a defender, you don't want the attacker to, you know, let's say, right, as a defender, you plug up this corner because you're confident the attackers are going to go here, and then the attackers go that side, right? So you understand why they want to spread out. But that's the thing with being a defender. Defender half the time is just reacting quickly to what the attackers are doing. And I mean, you should... You can't even see where the Union is. The Americans. And the officers are trying to figure it out. Lord Gunalat.
What you say? I heard someone say my name. What you got? You don't got beefkin. Hey, can we be closer? Toss a coming at you, man.
Gentlemen of the line and grenadiers, we shall be giving 3 chants to our great, glorious king of St. George. Gentlemen,
you
when I
always
say
get
hip
so
hip, you
excited,
say
it's amazing.
huzzah.
Oh yeah, man. That's just me.
Huzzah.
My lord, they're coming. My lord, they're coming.
Huzzah.
On the right side.
Right here. Forming up a fence right now. Again,
Use the bucket, boy. Independent fire.
To the corn.
To the corn. You ain't in the corn. You ain't where you need to be. Never mind. Back it out.
So the Americans really just going for that corner. Nice charge from them. They didn't spread out a whole lot. They just gunned it to the corner. They are out of bounds when they go into this corner a little bit. Americans bringing their flags there well, and they actually kind of flipped this charge here. Really well done from the Americans. And I mean, despite that beautiful maneuver from the Americans, it looks like the British will take this in the end.
Pardon me, I must boop you to death, my good sir.
New poll is up if you want to vote on who do you think will win this round. Thank you, Ninja, for reminding me to add that.
Pardon me, flag.
So, yeah, speaking of that, let's see, 65. You know, it seems like every single one of these polls, most people think the Patriots are going to win. The only time the Loyalists won was when I watched on Tuesday, and that was Schoolhouse Ridge. And I mean, it was like 52 to 48, something like that. So, I mean, that charge was really beautiful from the American side. You'll see this happen with charges a lot, is when someone charges, the whole side will just blob and go different directions, right? The Americans had for the most part, right, they had a diversionary force that charged center. That was their role. That made sense. The rest of the American team, though, they all just stuck together. They charged straight through here and then completely got in the flank of the British. It was a really nice maneuver. But British, in the end, they're defending. They got buck and ball. A lot of American casualties on the way going in there. And the British were eventually able to overtake. Now, the Americans are down 3 flags over here. That's the thing the American side needs to, I think, next step to doing well is, I mean, the out of bounds is right here. So if I'm one of these flags for the American side, same with British, but this applies more to the American side. If you're going to lose a charge and you're right next to out of bounds, just run the flag out of bounds because they despawn within 20 seconds versus 5 minutes that you have for this. So with that all being said, the American side is going to reform. Those flags, I don't remember if I mentioned it, but 5-minute despawn timer on those. So if the Americans, someone doesn't pick it up for 5 minutes, they'll despawn, and then they can spawn back in with it at main. But for now, this is how it is. Tickets slightly in the British favor right now.
Last time we didn't charge hard enough. We gotta charge harder.
So we'll see what the Americans want to do this time. They have 2 choices, really. They can either sit back and have a shootout with the British side. The issue being, though, that if they get into a shootout right, if a guy dies, he has to spawn main because they don't have their flags to spawn guys in line. And, I mean, it's the same thing. The other option for them is to charge or try to get their flags back, which we can see the British line. They've kind of spread back out to their original positions. Still, for the most part, hugging center right side, as that would just make sense, right? I mean, most of the stuff in War of Rights, at least being an officer, being a War of Rights officer, it's awareness, it's communication, and it's just common sense most of the time. Like, if someone did this, what would you do? It's just the common sense thing most of the time is the right answer. But the problem is that when you lack information, whether it be through a lack of awareness or maybe just you don't see something because of like you're in trees or there's just bad communication, then common sense sometimes just can't be found, or the right answer can't be found rather, because you just lack information. And again, that's the glorious part about the ever-changing battlefield.
30 odds of one kill.
That is true.
There's okay, officers. There's like huge horde directly down the road east. Seems like entire.
Did you just call my mother a whore?
Thank you, Vintage. Gentlemen, sprint right, sprint right, sprint right, sprint right.
They're coming again, boys. They're coming again. They shot early probably so they could try to get another load in, but here we go. Hessians trying to charge through, get the backside of this American charge. It's always a good idea there. And man, British are going to hold that again, although the Americans are dealing a substantial amount of losses. The thing is too, right, is that if an American guy picks up a flag in the middle of this charge and then he dies, that 5-minute timer resets, although Chess here is actually getting the flag out surprisingly well.
I'm a good boy.
I mean, you flag bearer bastard, I'm gonna kill your friends while you're not here. I'm gonna kill you.
So it looks like the Americans are down 2 flags. I think this is a British flag. Yeah. So, I mean, overall, if you're an attacker, as long as you keep the tickets even, you're doing a fairly good job overall. And I mean, overall, they're fairly even. The reason why that matters or is important is because of the last morale stage of each team. The attackers' last stage is final push. It lowers the black timer if it's high. However, you have infinite spawns, just limited time, right? And then if you're a defender, your last stage is last stand, and you just don't have any more spawns at that point. So if each side hits their last stage at the same time, one side, the attackers can keep spawning in, while the other side, the defenders can't anymore. And so it's a complete advantage for the attacker just to keep spawning in guys. So as long as you're keeping things even. Now, as an attacker, right, because Final Push is so overpowered, you can be down tickets and still be in a fine state, like down a fourth of a morale stage. However, if it gets to a third to a half of a morale stage difference, obviously depending on the map, but in the general sense, if the attacker's down a third to a half a morale stage, then you need to start getting worried. So, American side's going to form up again. I like that they're committed to their cause. Meanwhile, the British side is setting up in their original positions again. Americans now only down 1 flat. Nice recover there from Henry Clay.
Yes!
Been officering the past couple of rounds now, being an honorable soldier of the American cause. So, the Americans are starting to split up a little bit. You do have Axe taking his guys out to the far right, and you already have some up to the center shooting Skynet. But
Are they at the tree?
no, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I just saw smoke and I just fired out.
I mean, that's the glorious part about being aggressive in this game, and why I like it so much is that if you sit and shoot for a long period of time at the beginning of the match, what'll happen is you're not going to get a whole lot of kills, at least compared to charging, right? Everyone will just slowly move down, and so as a result, you might start getting crunched on time a little bit. And that's why I like being aggressive at the beginning. Most War of Rights comes down to charges in the end. And so why not get them out right at the beginning of the match? And I mean as well, even if you lose the charges, you'll have plenty of time to change up your plan and you won't have to stress. Stress, I think, also adds a bunch of other issues on top of the being an officer in War of Rights when it comes to, like, you know, awareness, communication, stuff like that. So you do have some British skirmishers starting to move out, though. It's not like a regiment either. It's interesting. Dang. So yeah, we'll see what happens at this point. I mean, Americans looks like they want to start inching to the other side of the map, which the thing is, right, you can see the Britain side, they're reacting perfectly. They're shifting over with the Americans. But if I'm the Americans, if I intend to charge on this side, I would not slowly move over here and start shooting in the open. I would hover back there, like we saw that Union or American company who was over here. I would see them. I would just move back here in cover, because the problem is if you're the American team and you run across the edge here, you're just going to be seen. So looks like they're starting to go this way now.
Never mind fucking him. He'll never see us. I think I saw us.
They suck at aiming. They only killed like 2 people.
Where's the left charge?
And actually, the British side, I mean, they are moving over. They still have half their team on the far right, or at least a third.
We're not wearing red, so they can't
Take the
see us.
snake fence! On the snake
left.
fence!
You're fully booked and hazelnut.
Oh, now. Spread out on the fence! Spread out on the fence! Get back!
Spread out, let's go! Spread it out, left and right, down there!
You still have a fair amount of Americans that aren't even here yet. I thought all of them would have went off the rip. I guess not. And some of the British are actually holding in the sunken lane. It's a bold position to be in, considering you have cover right behind you in the snake fence. So the whole American team essentially gets here, and the final British company on this side is starting to move over, but the Americans have the advantage right now. The Americans going to start putting the pressure.
Charge down the line, charge down the fence, charge down the fence, charge down the fence, charge down the fence.
Shoot and minute them. They're right there. Where are all the others?
Loading their face.
Stay on your side of the fence, bitch.
Come here, nerd. I'm gonna win, boy. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hey, come here so I can stab you. Come closer to this fence so I can stab you.
And I mean, Americans are slowly starting to make their way. British reinforcements finally arrive in the center.
Company, hold the fence. Hold the fence.
Just kidding.
For the king. For the crowd.
So American hold that charge. Okay, this little like chat off to try to get the #1 fan. I didn't know that showed up for you guys. This is funny to watch the emote off.
Press these motherfuckers.
But
Why do they play bagpipes?
with that all being said, Americans hold the charge. Tickets are fairly even. The British side was ahead on tickets, but obviously Americans starting to hold a little bit of charges. And, you know, that was good. You know, it wasn't that great of a maneuver from the American side going around to this side. It's just the British reacted slowly. So, it's as simple as that sometimes.
I was not even scouting, bro. No, what? It was not me. No? It wasn't, yo, hear me out.
So,
Okay.
Oh, gentlemen, pull it back.
the British in the center here are slowly just being shot down. They need to back out of there. They're taking way too long. And now they'll start to back out. But what a move, what a turnaround from the Americans. Again, they adjusted their strategy, which I think is a good thing. They could have done it better, but, you know, the British made some mistakes. And so, for that reason, they worked it back.
We got this, boys.
Just shoot from here, guys. Yeah, you can Rambo it. That's fine. This is a good angle. Just equip buck and forward.
So, that's the thing. You can't let the American side get a foothold in the sunken lane. I mean, the sunken lane, it's an advantage for the CSA just being able to hold in kind of a defilade here a little bit. But you actually have an American company now completely flanking on the other side.
Get on the fence.
And so Smokey with a good little push up there. Not a bad idea. Although Americans are starting to get a little outnumbered with a fourth of the team now. Pushed out to that side. Although if Smokey collapsed down with a beautiful flank, it could happen. Or maybe the American team shifts over there. Who knows? But for now, the shootout is what it is.
Maybe you should do that. Alright.
I mean, Americans have not actually gotten a ticket lead. Let's look at the British here. We haven't given them some spotlight. I mean, they're just really kind of split up with a bulge in the middle. Nice little flank here from Smokey.
Fire in advance, boys. Fire in advance. Kill those fuckers now. Do not honestly, my team is struggling. My company's struggling, dog. My company's struggling.
I mean, what are we at?
We're on the cap.
Yeah, we're basically 400 at this point. Americans are capping. British about to hit taking losses.
We're on the cap right now. We're on the cap.
And I mean, despite Smokey's group being out there, I mean, the American line is holding, which is absurd.
Keep shooting, round ball, guys. Keep shooting. Fill them up with bullets. Let's actually hold shots. Get on the line first, guys. Get a line going.
We have friendly reinforcements here, sir. We can probably charge them down.
Because I'm too late. Okay.
So they got a nice little flank going. But it's going to be a question of can they actually shoot them off? I mean, oh, is Union going to early? Americans are going to early cap here. So British at taking losses. If the Americans early cap, it's going to be a 7-minute counterattack timer. If the British retake it within 7 minutes, they will go up to the percentage of tickets that the Americans are at, assuming they're down, which they are, and they will be, unless something crazy happens. So they cap. I don't know if they should have capped, but they're not going to charge in.
Push him out, boys. Push him out. Go, go, go. Push up, push up.
Keep firing, keep firing, just keep firing. Flex, get that to here in the rear. Gentlemen.
Hold the line, gentlemen.
Gotta charge! Gotta charge!
Counter charge!
Get him, get this flag, get the flag, get the flag, get the communist flag, get it. Come here.
And so that's a British flag down. Americans hold the charge. And what a hold from them. UI bug didn't say we were capping on cap. That's crazy. I mean, there were a fair amount of units over here, so it could have been... I mean, the thing is, right, is if you have 2 or 3 people who are in skirmishing capped on point, it could happen. Someone just didn't notice. I don't know. Or maybe...
Yeah, just keep moving around.
Maybe it was that way.
You're doing good.
That'd be wild if that was the case. That's like back in the olden days, where the game didn't tell you if you're on point or not. Now that was ancient time. Yeah, I remember, I mean, I think I still have it, but there is a channel in the IBB Discord where it has photos of drawn lines of where the point of capture is. And, I mean, that's partially why I know where all, at least the Antietam, Harper's Ferry, and South Mountain capture points are at. For the most part, because you were forced to memorize that, in a sense, if you played consistently. So, Britain trying to send half their team around to flank from this side. 5 minutes left on the goal timer. Smokey, rightly so, trying to push out and get back near the point, maybe trying to alert his friendlies. Meanwhile, the other half of the British team is really shooting down. I don't know why the Union or American side is all clumping down on this tiny area. The thing is, we're shooting with shotguns here, guys, so why are we all clumped up in a tiny area? Granted, the British are kind of far away, but, you know, still. They're all going to be shooting at the same general area.
Keep shooting. I don't know how we're winning against this with no support.
Why does War of Rights use tickets? This ain't a movie theater? That's awesome. That's awesome.
On point, boys. On
That
point.
is an awesome comment.
Reinforcements coming. Let's go.
It actually, when the game first came out, it used to tell you the exact number of tickets each side had. And then they changed it where you couldn't see it at all, and now they changed it to where you could see what percentage of the morale stage that you're through. But it's a good system overall. I'll explain in a second. Britain is getting a little feisty here.
Stick to the right. Let's go.
Well, Dev, this is normally an American Civil War game. That's mostly what we'll cover here. Britain is doing an absolutely spectacular double-pronged flank here.
Red code.
Point is starting to go back in British favor. And it looks like the British side might take this. Looks like they will. So at this point, Americans just need to get their flags out so they can preserve them. And if I'm an American and I am near the fight zone, I want to die, right? The Britain is going to go up to the percentage of tickets that the attacking side is at, which is the Americans, the original attacking side anyways. So they're going to regain a little less than a fourth of a morale stage in tickets. And then the black timer is going to continue ticking down. But yeah, no, the ticket system's great in this game because we're playing a Civil War game. For this limited time event, we're playing Revolutionary War. And so it is the game, you want to be encouraged to play in line battles like they actually kind of did in the Civil War, you know? We're playing a Civil War game, a historical one at that, so it makes sense to do that. So what the game does, for those of you who don't know, is when you're all clumped up like this, standing up in person, when you're by a large group, you die, and you lose 1 ticket for your team. If you're crouching in a group of people or by 2 other people, you die and you lose 3 tickets. You're in skirmishing, that's what it's called. And then lastly, there's out of line. If you're off on your own, you die, you lose 5 tickets. So in terms of, doesn't recap always give you slightly less tickets than equal? It gives each side, so if the defenders are down in a percentage wise, they will go up to the attackers' percentage tickets. So they will have the same percentage of tickets. But the thing is the attackers on most maps have higher tickets than the defenders. So what that means is 60% of tickets for the attackers, 60% of their total tickets is going to be larger than 60% of tickets for the defenders. They're still at 60% even, and like the same percentage, but since the attackers have more overall tickets, the attackers will have more raw tickets, if that makes sense. So the bars on top are just showing percentages, right? It's not showing your raw amount. Because, I mean, if you look at this, right, CSA, they look like they have more tickets right now, but that's just showing a percentage. It's not showing a raw number. I guarantee you the American side has more tickets overall in a raw number, but in a percentage, right now the defenders are up. I mean, that could just be a visual glitch as well, with the bar being a little lower or something as well. Who knows? But if you're confused and you're interested in this game, we have a War of Rights tutorial video, one of the best tutorial videos that's ever been made for this game. I would recommend watching that. It gives a lot better detail. So, yeah, the only maps that I'm aware of that are even tickets are Maryland Heights. Other maps are close, but all of them have attacker bias. I don't know about the drill camp, though. All the Conquest and Contention have even tickets, but... Anyways, the Americans lost all 4 flags, it looks like. So, again, they've been really aggressive. They brought everyone basically down to breaking. Once both sides hit, or rather, when the defenders hit breaking, the attackers can capture point and win. They don't have to early clap like we just saw. So, and because the attackers were aggressive and brought everyone down, they have 21.5 minutes to kind of just sit around and shoot it out. So, I will also say the mechanics for this game are not that simple. When I played this game regularly for a year, it's not like I truly thought about it a whole lot, but it took me some time before I could figure it out. And that's the beauty of this skirmish game mode. It's so complex. There's a lot of different ways to play it, and it's really awesome to see different strategies be done at different times.
All right, you got this.
Who's playing that heated music? Turn it off! Turn it off! Man, play some Skinner! Hey!
What was that laugh? You do have some British skirmishers up here. Don't necessarily know what they're doing up there.
These Yankees are... Actually, to be fair, we will not win this time game. We need to...
Get on your knee if you think Joe Biden should be president right now.
Front loader, no offense, but we don't have a president. We have a Kaiser.
Oh my lord. So true.
I don't know what Pies is thinking, because we will not win the time game. It is impossible to get 20 minutes.
Oh my god, he's dead.
They will not let us win on time.
Is that the...
My point, fine. Henry.
Ryder, did anybody ever tell you you talk like you got a monocle?
Because I'm British, sir. What do you expect?
No, we are Germans. We are Henry.
More like a rear inserter.
What the hell?
So, Americans, I mean, they do have guys running over here. It looks like some of those flags despawned, or they got them back in their line. Regardless, though, Americans, I think they're doing the smart option here, right? You have plenty of time. There's no reason to rush and try to go in and get your flags when half your guys will just die and spawn main. So,
Alright, company, let's go. Up and over on me.
That being said, we'll see what the Americans want to do at this point. Again, they've got 20 minutes. They can sit and shoot this out if they want, or if they want to charge, they can do that. They got time. They got options.
Steady.
Fuck yeah.
We got a quicker volley. They almost got us there.
And I mean, generally in a shootout, now, obviously, TL80 permanently muted. I mean, it's got an iconic voice. Some of those songs he makes are something else. But generally in a shootout, since the attackers... Okay, in a shootout, right? There's so many factors going into if a shot actually hits, whether it be the accuracy of the person or the skill of the person, elevation change, weapon sway, how accurate the gun is. I mean, there's so many factors going into if a shot hits. In a shootout, that large shootouts like we're watching right now, I generally would like to think are a one-to-one trade in the average. And as a result, if it's a one-to-one trade in kills, it probably means it's a one-to-one trade in ticket loss, right? And so... if each side is dealing the same amount of ticket loss to each other, and we know the attackers have more tickets than the defenders, as a result, we can assume that over the longer run, the attackers would win in a shootout. Now, again, that's the general case, right? So, the attackers are like, we got 20 minutes, we will probably win in a shootout over the longer run. We don't want to lose a charge or something like that and screw it over, so they're just going to leave it to this for now. They have plenty of time. A little boring, but, you know, it's a part of the game.
They're peeking. Take that. Take that. And put the lower chest.
And before they increased the rifle accuracy by at a minimum of 60% in an update back in March, I think it was. Before that, the only meta in this game was charging. Now it's much more of a shooting meta. Still a lot of charging done compared to shooting, and I'm fine with that. I think I like charging. I think it's I like being aggressive, but shooting is a little more viable than it was a little while ago.
Once you start the load, no matter what.
That's also true. Again, so many factors going into if a shot actually hits over a general group.
Press 5 for bucketball!
Press
Switch ammo!
Bucket ball!
No, because once you start finishing it, it automatically loads the bucket ball for some reason, so you have to finish the load. Okay, now it's time to do something.
Anything but buck and ball.
Holy fuck, that was like standing grape shot, guys. They don't know how to aim with these rifles. Are we gonna do... Okay, aim really high with this buck and ball, guys. Aim really fucking high.
How high are they gonna aim?
Load round ball then after this.
Okay, this shot's missing. This one right here.
Load round ball again after this. Aim really high.
Maybe not actually. That looked worse on the side anyway. That's the thing. When shooting buck and ball, you gotta aim them a little higher. So... I mean, look at the shootout as is. We knew the Americans were up a little bit on tickets, but, I mean, it's a fourth of a morale stage difference at this point. And, I mean, they can keep this up for the rest of the round and they'll probably win. Maybe not the most exciting way to end the match. They'll probably charge in soon, but, you know, a win's a win. And that's the thing. If I'm British here, I mean, you can see at least a good portion of the team doing it. They're just sitting and hiding. What's the point of trying to get into a shootout that you'll probably lose when you have buck and ball yourself? Sure, the attackers do, but you do too. Just sit, hide, force them to come deal, and try. Granted...
This is battle of the retards. Just leave him,
Honestly, let them have it.
Our friendlies are down.
Seems like these guys do not appreciate their friendlies putting themselves in a position where they can be shot. Which I don't blame them.
Not all of us alone. We got friendlies to the left who are doing the same. They stop because they're weird.
Whatever. Call the volley again.
Make it in
So many tickets because we're so many.
At their heads, boys! Where's the enemy? I can't see them! I love how most of our shots are hitting the fence and doing absolute fuck all.
So technically we like, well, because I don't know.
Let's move up to that
What the fuck happened to the officer?
Did someone say charge?
No, where is their officer? Oh, there it is.
No, don't charge the fucking field.
Got a bad one. Presents on. Presents. Steady.
Holy fuck.
That's an awesome.
Take defilade.
Ah, yes.
You're
They're
just getting
Chungus. Good to see you.
wrecked. Look, this is ridiculous.
I mean, the
What
American.
are you doing, guys? Fucking
Yep, I agree.
We're getting torn.
It's like the German players, the Hessians here are playing it smart. The regulars are not so much. Again, it's boring, but you're not gonna win this way. And watch this drive.
Look right, look right. Watch this massacre.
They really drained that half our tickets.
I'm looking right. Yo, there's so many dead bodies. Oh my god, we've been losing so many tickets.
Oh my god, look at that, look at that. What you're noticing is regiment professionalism versus idiot pub players. That's
Oh.
Look at the massacre. Hey, thanks, you lost us the game. Thank you, you lost us the round. Thanks.
They're dying like absolute lads.
Hold here, reloads. Lancer ready, Neo, Neo, on the fucking knees.
It would have been nice, frankly, it would have been nice if they would have done that, 5 minutes ago. That absolutely sucks for the British team, especially the half that have been, been sitting around, actually, just trying to wait it out. So, I mean, it's over a half morale stage difference at this point. It's not looking great here. And I mean, the Americans, they're just going to keep shooting, because why would they do anything else? And I mean, maybe the casualties will be slowed a little bit, but oh, they're continuing to do it. And you can see these guys at this point are like, well, we might as well do it if, we're not going to win. We might as well actually play the game.
Fire.
Don't blame them for that.
Crouch reload. Crouch reload.
So, I mean, a really good start to the round here. A really good middle. And then, I mean, again, it's you kind of see this a lot. I know this was a miniature version, but it's like half the British was doing something and half the British was doing something else, even if it was somewhat very similar things. Everyone's kind of got to be on the same page. So looks like the Americans are finally going to go up and over here. Oh, maybe this is what they've been doing the whole time.
Steady, where that smoke is. Fire.
And you might think this British company is hidden, but that flag is giving them dead away. I don't know how many casualties they're taking, but that flag needs to go off.
Yeah.
Alright,
you know what? You want me, officer? You want me to kill the flag bearer? I'll take over.
Take it. Yours.
Take it. Kill the flag bearer. Kill him.
All right,
it's my job now. Hey!
No, it's fine. It's fine. Go by the fence on the far right. Away. Far right.
They're peeking.
Flag bearer. Oh, yeah, fair enough. That's fine. It's a bit further away.
Hold your fire. Hold your fire.
So, I mean, that's a better spot than what it was. I mean, all of these guys should, frankly, just shift over here, but yeah, I mean, this round's slowly going to dwindle out here. I mean, look at that. The Americans have not started dropping through breaking yet. That's absurd.
Okay, so it seems like it's something going on the left.
Yes, they pulled it left.
They said something to the north. I don't know what.
We're 6 million.
They're all going left, seems like they're gonna assault left charge.
They went left.
They moved
left. Yeah, they're all going left, dude. Go left.
So, wow.
Wait for
I mean, props to the Americans for coming up with good strategy, and this looks like the beginning of the end. I mean, it has been the beginning of the end for a while, but it is now the end.
This is our property of the United States of America. Keep going.
Oh my
Get the pressure on.
Cut him down. Oh, hey.
So the British hit last stand. If they were dead, they come back, and they might be able to...
I'm friendly red code.
Points still going in Americans' favor, though. I mean, used to have a little bit that spawned in at Maine. The British barely are kind of getting an edge there, but Americans still have a foothold on this side, and it looks like the Americans are going to close out with a win here.
Powdered wig and shoved up your ass ready.
Hey, man. Hey, what the fuck, man?
Hey, fuck you, red coat scum.
Hey, charge
Wow.
left, charge
I mean, a very good round, all things considered.
Charge left, you sons of bitches. Get those barrels on.
press T and charge left.
Yo, somebody kill that bread motherfucker.
Wow.
I will wave this flag on you so
Kill them Hessians.
GG's. I mean, the British wave, they got. I think they got to get in the road to start capping.
Flag
So
up, boys. Get this flag up.
it's gonna be it. Wow,
It's kind of GG's, boys. GG.
it is.
GG's, everybody.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I will fuck you up.
Oh, never mind. Hold up. I looked off the screen for a second, and the British surged through. Americans did shift over though, and they got their flag. But I mean, they're holding it off a little longer. But British might be able to actually hold for one more charge here. And the British, I mean, it's not a whole lot left, but for the British to do something, they got to hit the Americans on the final push to knock the timer down a few minutes and then kill all their flags and keep them down, which they don't have enough lives for that.
The bodies hit the floor. The bodies hit the floor. The bodies hit the floor. The bodies hit the floor.
You owe me Native American pussy. You owe me Native American pussy. Stop it. Don't kill me. You can't kill me before you give me Native American pussy.
Now it's going to be over. So, yeah, I mean, Americans, they did what they traditionally did on this map. They would charge down the flank on that side, and, you know, they had two charges that didn't work out. They lost their flags. They changed their plan. Did it a little slow, but the British responded pretty well. They did not, but these fireworks are very loud outside my window. At least my mic is picking them up, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they're actually heard on the stream, but yeah, Americans adapted their strategy after what wasn't working, and it worked because the British reacted slowly there. And then Americans held there for a long time, got everyone down, eventually early capped, accidentally it seems, and the British retook eventually, getting American flags. Americans then just sat back and just shot down the British basically down. And I mean, half the British team was just crouching and the other half were standing up and shooting and dying. So a bit of inconsistency there. And I mean, that really does it for that round. So, I mean, a good round nonetheless. Lessons to be learned. But, you know, as long as everyone had fun in the end, that's where all that really matters, right? Winning doesn't matter. Oh, winning can help, that's for sure. But nonetheless, your noise suppression's working. That's good. That's good at least. So, yeah, still fun rounds nonetheless.